My name is Charity Rotinsky. I am a paralegal and I work for Mia, your town attorney. Thank you for coming in today. I really appreciate the time that you're invested to come in here and help with this case. I'm sure that you have other things that you could be doing, so this is really great. Thank you. I see that you've already been informed of the confidentiality between you, yourself, and the attorney, and that confidentiality also includes me. So everything you say in here is private, so feel comfortable to discuss anything with me. I will need to take notes as part of this interview. Do I have your permission to do that?
Yes.
Before we get started, would you like a water?
Yes, please.
There you go. Can you state your name, please?
Willie Parker.
Can you tell me what you do for a living?
I'm a detective for Yorktown Police Department.
Can you tell me the details of the events that led to the arrest of Herman F. Fripp, AKA Mr. Rowdy Outlaw?
So, Rowdy happened to come in one night and he turned himself in. And he looked a little, dazed. And so we took him in for questioning. They questioned him and we ended up arresting him.
In your opinion, what was Mr. Rowdy's state of mind?
He looked as though he was fine. It looked like something just had shooken him up a little bit, but he seemed sound mind.
You stated that Mr. Outlaw confessed. Can you tell me exactly what he confessed to?
He confessed to strangling a female.
Is it standard procedure at your town police department where you work to only request a verbal confession?
To make the initial arrest, yes.
Could you tell me why there was never a written confession?
No, I don't know the answer to that.
Did you read the Miranda rights to Mr. Rowdy?
Yeah, that's standard procedure when we're making an arrest.
Did he ever ask for legal counsel?
No, he did not. Not at the time.
All right, thank you for coming in today. If I have any more questions, can I contact you?
Yes.
Go.
Hi, I'm Neosha Allen. I'm a paralegal at Yorktown Law Firm. I'm representing Mia Yorktown. I see that you've already signed and agreed to the confidentiality agreement. I just want to let you know that I am held to the standards as the lawyer in the firm as well. So everything you say is safe with me.
Okay.
Can you state your name and your job title?
I am Michael Melody, and my job title is I'm an expert in strings for any instrument.
Okay. How does one become an expert in strings for instruments?
I actually have a doctorate in musical instruments, and I am trained in the different nuances of strings.
Okay. I would just want to let you know, is it all right if I take notes on?
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome, thank you. So who are you employed by?
I'm employed by Yorktown Musical Instruments,
Okay, how long have you been in this position?
27 years.
Okay. So when you were asked to be an expert witness for this case, were you told why?
No, I was asked to research and analyze a string that they brought to me and to find out if it matched an instrument that they brought to me, and I was able to make a clear and concise matching between the string and the instrument.
So when you are doing your observations, walk me through the steps of how the first thing you do when you start analyzing.
Okay, so when you have an instrument, every single string that is placed on that instrument is made specifically to match each other's strings so that you get the same sounds that you need. So they have the same braiding and they have the same tenure across the board. My job is to ensure that that braiding is carried all the way across every single string on that instrument, which can be anywhere from 4 strings to 15 strings depending on the instrument. The instrument in question that came about was a guitar that was brought into my office, and then the string that was brought in from evidence from the police department, and I was able to 99.9% compare the two and create an analysis that states that they are 100% from the same instrument.
Okay, so if I were to bring you a string from the guitar store, how many guitars could that string be put on?
Well, the strings itself have a certain wear, and so the strings could be put on any guitar depending on the string. But the wear to be able to match them comes from where the struts are and from where the knobs are. So you will match those struts and knobs to the guitar.
Well, Ms. Melody, thank you so much for meeting with me. If we have any further questions, is it okay to contact you?
Absolutely.
And the number that we have, is that a good number to
It
get in
is.
touch with you? Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Cassie. I'm the paralegal here, and I work for Mia Yorktown. I see that you have seen and agreed to our confidentiality agreement already. Just know that I am also bound by this agreement, just like the law firm, okay? Today you're here so that we can help you with your case regarding your charge of murder against Bob Bovier. I do have some questions so that we can help you out on that, okay? I'm going to be taking some notes today, is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay. Were you ever in a romantic relationship with Bobette?
Yes, I was in the past, a few years back. Have not been in one recently, no.
Okay. When was the last time that you saw her?
A month or two ago, it was at one of our gigs.
Okay. Right. So you say that you were not there when she was murdered, but there's witnesses that claim to have seen you. Can you explain that?
I cannot, no. I have no recollection of that at all.
Okay. Is there anyone else that you know saw you or can provide witness testimony other than Charlie or Imogene?
Well, Chu is the one I started the night off with. After I blacked out, I have no idea who could possibly, be a witness for me.
Okay. Can you give me the names of any of the bars that you visited on that night?
Sally's Pub and Deacon's.
Okay. Do you have any receipts, or do you know if there's any videotape that can tell us the time you were there?
I've got some credit card statements and transaction histories I can get.
Okay. Did you confess to the murder to Detective Willie Parker?
I did not, no.
And why did you turn yourself in then?
I wanted to cooperate with the police to prove I'm innocent. Hi, I'm Miles Meyer.
Hi.
I'm a paralegal here with the law firm. I'm assisting Mia Yorktown in this case. I understand that you've read and agreed to our confidentiality agreement. I just want to reassure you that as a paralegal, I am held to the same standards as Mia is. So I know we're here to get more of an understanding about what happened the night of the murder. So I'm just going to get right into it. I'm going to be taking some notes during the interview, just so you're aware. So can you tell me what happened that night?
Around 2 a.m. I was hearing some screaming and loud noises from my neighbor's apartment, and I called the police regarding that. After I called the police, it got quiet, so I looked out my door and I saw somebody walking away from the apartment.
Okay. Now, can you describe to me the person that you saw that night?
The person I saw was wearing a long Western-style coat, black and red cowboy boots, a black hat with turkey feathers sticking out of it.
Okay. Any physical characteristics that you can describe to me? I know you said it was from behind, but anything noticeable?
Just kind of a slim figure.
Posterior?
They were a slim figure, had short hair. Other than that, I don't.
Okay, that's all right. Okay. Now, can you describe to me how you knew Bobette
She was my neighbor. We've been neighbors for 3 years.
And how would you describe your relationship with her?
I would say we're acquaintances. We'd say hi in the hallways if we saw each other out on the street, but we didn't really hang out.
Didn't really hang out anymore. It was pretty friendly.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And now, Israeli Outlaw is the person in question. How did you know him? Have you ever met him?
I had a VIP pass one time when I went to one of his concerts, but I don't really know him.
Okay. So never really met him in person?
No.
Okay. Now, let's say, were you aware of any previous relationships between Bobette and Rowdy?
I've seen him around before, but I mean not a lot. If that makes sense.
Okay. And did you notice any other individuals that would frequent Bobette's apartment?
There was one time that an angry woman came by yelling at Bobette.
Okay. And how recently was that?
I would say just a couple of months ago.
Okay. All right, Ms. Goodwell. Thank you for stopping by. I did really appreciate you taking the time to come and talk to me. Is it okay if I reach out to you in the future if I come up with any more questions or anything?
Of course.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Have a good day.
You too.
Hi, I'm Linda. I'm with Your Town. I am the paralegal here. Is it okay if I do the questioning today?
Yes,
Awesome. May I ask your name?
I am Ima Jean Grouse.
Thank you so much for coming in, Ms. Iman. I have our confidentiality agreement that I know that you've signed. I just want to let you know that I'm held to the same standards as a paralegal. Everything that you say is kept confidential. Okay, so can I ask you a few questions?
Yes.
Absolutely. So I'm understanding that you are here to be an alibi for Mr. Rowdy Outlaw.
That's correct.
Okay, can you tell me how you know him?
I met Mr. Rowdy Outlaw at a bar called Deaconess. I'm a huge fan, so I recognized him across the room. He was super friendly. I went up to him, asked him to buy me a drink. Well, one thing led to another, and we spent the night together.
Okay, was there any other places that you guys went, or was that the only place?
Oh, come on. If you had the chance to meet up with a famous guy, wouldn't you just go back to your apartment?
I honestly have not been in that situation, so I'm gonna take your word for it. So, I'm sorry, just one second. Would you like some water?
No, thank you.
Okay. So you said that you went back to your place. Can you tell me the address of where your place is?
Yes, my address is 3852 East Westmore Drive.
And do you guys have a security system? Do you have cameras around the building or in the building?
Yes, we do. In the parking lots.
Okay. And do you park in the parking lot, or do you park on the street, or did you catch a cab?
You know, normally I park in the parking lot. I had had a few drinks that night too. I honestly don't remember where I parked that night.
Okay. Can you tell me why you chose to come forward and let us know about yours and Mr. Outlaw's relations?
Well, he was a pretty good man. We had some great fun that night, and I've heard his marriage is on the rocks. If he is not committed a murder, I hope to have a relationship with him, so I thought I would come forward and help him out.
Oh, so you're hoping for a relationship with Mr. Outlaw?
That is correct.
Does he know that?
He sure made a lot of promises that night.
Okay. Do you know exactly how inebriated Mr. Outlaw was?
Well, he wasn't so drunk that I asked for certain things and he was more than willing to oblige, so I don't think he was too drunk to do any of my requests.
Okay, awesome. The phone number that I have on record here, is that a good number to be able to reach you if we
Yes,
have
it
any
is.
other questions?
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming in today. I think I got everything.
All right.
So, have a good day.